Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am absolutely perplexed at the moment and trying to make sense of what's happening at Louis Vuitton. So yesterday I went on to the Louis Vuitton website here in the States. I was looking to see if there was an item available for a friend of mine who was looking because her mom was looking, and I saw that it was available online. It was the Speedy, and I thought, it's never available online. Almost all of the classic canvas pieces are never available online. We know that, right? If we shop LV, we know that it's really like seeing a purple unicorn. When you go online, if you see something in stock, right? So I thought, that's interesting. And then I started to scroll and I saw that almost everything was in stock. Not only the Speedy that I was checking out from my friend's mom, but every Speedy in every size, every print, even the bandeau versions. And then I started to get curious, so I looked at the Pochette Matisse and the mini Pochette and the cosmetic pouch and the key pouch. Okay, and the Pochette Accessoires. I mean, guys, this one here is... There were rumors that this was discontinued because it was nearly impossible for people to get. And with all the crazy price increases now, it's $1,290 retail plus tax. But yeah, this was on the website, and I'm actually really curious if it's still on the website, because unlike in the past where you would see something pop up on the website and you'd have to really scramble and hurry to grab your credit card, pop it in, I'm speaking from experience here, you can tell, and be the first to place in cart and first to process your payment. Otherwise, you blink and it's gone, right? What was once in stock, after you blink, is now out of stock. So that's usually what happens. But even this one here, it was available. I walked away, I came back, it was still available. Okay. So this is what happened. It was early Sunday morning when I was looking at the website and I saw all these things available and I thought, that's crazy. Then I had to go out. I had an appointment at the spa in Midtown, and of course it's right near the LV flagship store on Fifth Ave, so I happened to pass by. Towards the end of this video, I'm going to share with you what I saw when I passed by the LV store, because I think it's really interesting and it sort of connects all of this that we're talking about today. But I will say that after a few hours of being out, I got curious to see if these items would still be in stock. So when I came home, this was hours later, I checked again, and lo and behold, yes, they were still in stock. And then around 10 p.m., they were still in stock. So I'm saying all day, the vast majority of these pieces that are almost always out of stock were available for purchase online. Okay, so I posted on my Instagram stories and also on my YouTube community page here because I wanted to alert all of you, since many of you are looking for some of these items and have been having a really hard time. And I know it's super frustrating every time there's a price increase when it's just out of your reach. So seeing that all of these items were available online, I thought if you're in the US and you can access the website, go get your thing, right? Whatever it is, cross it off your wish list. So that's really why I posted. I couldn't post everything, but whatever popped up that I felt was, in demand, I posted to share with you guys. But here's the thing. There's like a psychological warfare happening here. When we're used to things not being available to us and there is this sort of artificial supply and demand game happening, when things are now available, I feel like our mind starts to play tricks on us. Even if you weren't on the market for something, even if you weren't interested in buying something from LV, even if there was nothing on your wish list, I'm pointing at myself, you start to think, well, they're available and they're never available. So maybe I should just order it. And then I could always change my mind if I don't like it when I receive it, right? Because there's a return window. But I should just get it, right? Because just in case it goes out of stock again. And so there's this crazy mind game that's happening. And whether it's intentional by LV or not, I do think it's working, because a number of you messaged me on Instagram and commented here on my channel saying, I just bought something, or I just grabbed something. Now, some of you were saying, you've been wanting something for 2-3 years and you finally got it, and you were saying, thank you for alerting me that it was online. But others were saying, I grabbed something, but I don't really know if it's worth the new price. I just got it, So it's sort of like this hesitation. And I can totally understand. I can relate to that. By the way, I'm not trying to be mysterious. I'm going to just show you this bag here. I have it in the dust bag because this is no longer available from LV directly. It's only available pre-loved because this was discontinued, or it was a seasonal bag. This is the Speedy BB in the black lambskin with the beautiful chain. But I wanted to show you this because the Speedy 20, the Speedy Bandolier 20, that's still really popular. It's like that perfect Goldilocks size. It's the monogram canvas with that thick strap. That too was available online, and maybe it is still today. I'm gonna go back and check later because I'm so curious what is going on. I'm beyond curious. I'm like suspicious. I don't know, something feels funny. And it's not like in the past where LV has done price increases and still many things are out of stock. I don't know, they just sort of let loose online. And by the way, a lot of the leather pieces and the denim pieces are not available. So if you were to look at the Epi or the Empreinte or the Cousin, they were not available. Mostly the canvas pieces were the ones that popped up as available on the website, which flies in the face of all the theories that have been circulating over the past couple of years that LV might be discontinuing canvas altogether, they're pushing leather so much, or that they're going to discontinue monogram. I mean, I never really believed those rumors, but it of course created a little bit of a, is that true? A little bit of minor panic there. But it seems like they're pushing canvas, at least online. I don't know what's happening in the boutiques. Maybe they're trying to get more customers engaged, more entry-level customers who are into canvas, more younger customers who can afford canvas over leather, although the canvas is now so expensive too. Or maybe they're just trying to get rid of their leftover inventory, but that doesn't really make sense. I would think that they have pretty good control of how many batches of these things they make, and they intentionally raise their prices on the canvas pieces in order to make more profit. So it's probably a well thought out strategy, but I don't have all the answers, and I guess none of us do, but I'm just so curious to piece it all together. So in this video, I want to share with you 5 themes that came up from you guys, your comments, your messages, that I find to be really, really interesting. So first was many of you saying they are putting everything online now and making everything available because no one's buying anything because of the price increases. Okay, so that theory it's plausible. Maybe consumers are walking away because they're just sick and tired of all the price increases and they don't want to buy these anymore. They're moving on to other brands, or they're just, moving on from designer in general, or they're sick of logos, or whatever the case might be. And so the price increases have turned them off. So there is that theory. Also, the same thought process with price increases. Some of you are saying, I'm going to go pre-loved. So if you're not completely turned off by the brand, you might just be going pre-loved and looking for deals there with used, gently used items. The second theme that I have been hearing is around quality, and we have been talking about quality decline for years now. We've been talking about it ever since I started my channel, which was less than 3 years ago. It's just been nonstop talk about quality issues, quality decline, not just LV to be fair. Many of the brands, even Chanel, etc. But some of you are saying, regardless of the prices and the price increases, the quality is the issue. There was one of you who mentioned that you purchased a few items recently and had to return all of them, because every single one of them had some quality issue, which is absolutely terrible. It's such a disappointment. You finally get your hands on something. You finally convince yourself that it's worth paying the increased price, and then it comes back, or it comes to you looking like crap, not stitched well, or something's off, defective, zippers off, something's crooked. That's terrible. So some of you were saying it's just the quality issue, and that's why LV items are not moving, and that's why they're putting more on the website to push. The third theme I saw was more innocent. It was around Mother's Day. Now, we are just a few weeks away from Mother's Day, and some of you were saying historically LV does put more inventory out on their website right before Mother's Day to help encourage gift purchasing, and I could see that. I could see that happening for Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, Christmas, but when I look before those holidays, I've never seen this much inventory in the past. I've checked before Valentine's Day. you think of getting a little goodie for yourself, a little treat for yourself, or a little gift for someone, or around the holidays, around Christmas, and I don't see anything online. So to me, this feels a little unusual, but maybe Mother's Day is a time of pushing canvas items. Who knows? Let me know if you guys have observed this as well. The fourth theme was just, wow, shock. Same as me, perplexed and shocked that so much is available, and then followed by thank you for alerting me. I'm grabbing this. I got a Palm Springs mini that I've been wanting for 2 years. I got a Pochette Matisse. I can't believe the mini Pochette is available. I just bought it. Thank you for letting me know. So there was that too. So there were some of you that were happy that these items were available online, and you quickly jumped on it and got what you wanted. And it didn't seem like there was any hesitation from those of you who mentioned that you bought these items that you minded the price increase. Maybe you did, but there was no sort of complaint about the price increase. It was almost like, finally, I get to buy what I've been wanting to buy. Then there was another interesting theme. This is the fifth theme. At least a couple of you commented that you've been banned from purchasing at LV because you've purchased too much, whatever that means, whatever that threshold is. You've purchased too many SLGs, too many canvas pieces. We all know that LV has a rule around how many you can purchase. Even Chanel has a rule. If you surpass that number, then they will prevent you from purchasing, whether it be from the boutiques or online, either way. And so a couple of you were saying, I was so turned off by being banned previously. I wanted to spend my hard-earned money with this brand, and they're telling me I can't buy anymore, even though I'm a loyal customer and I'm a true fan of the brand. So those of you who said that are saying, I don't care. I'm just turning away from the brand completely, because that's not a good feeling as a customer to be banned, right? When you've not done anything wrong. So I hear you on that too. So those were the 5 themes. I think it's really interesting, and I would love to know where you fall. If you fall within those themes, which one, let me know in the comments below. Or if you're in a totally different category all on its own, like you just can't stand the brand, period, regardless if inventory is available or price increases are happening, or are you just really content and you have everything that you want from the brand already, so it doesn't matter to you? I'm really, really curious. I am sort of like teetering on the edge of, I have everything I want. I don't have a wish list. You guys know I don't really make wish lists generally when it comes to luxury, but there is psychological warfare happening in my brain where I think, should I just order a couple things and see? Now, I'm also mildly curious just because I'm a curious person. I don't want to waste time and energy buying and returning things, because that also creates a lot of anxiety and stress, shipping things back or whatever and waiting for your refund. But at the same time, I wonder if it's worth it, because I'm curious to see what the quality is going to be like. I haven't purchased anything from LV for a little while now, and I've been pleased with the items that I have, the ones that I kept. But some of you have accused me of being too picky in previous cases where I've returned items that I felt were defective or below quality, and I have no regrets about that. Whether I am picky or not, that's okay. I don't like to settle when I purchase things. So I have returned few items from LV and other brands where I didn't feel like they were up to par and it wasn't worth it for me. And then I was able to find replacements or different items that I'm happy with. But I'm curious, if I were to order something from the website today, what the quality would be like. I've heard things like the canvas being really thin and wonky, the zippers being messed up, just misalignment, asymmetry, just overall wonkiness, and then smell. I've experienced that too. One time when I ordered the key pouch, I did a video on this a while ago. It smelled so bad. Even after I washed my hands still smelled of this chemical. I don't know what it was. And some of you were like, oh, that's normal. It's not normal. Then I returned it and got this one, and this just smells like canvas. So that's what I mean about not settling, because I know what I would be happy with and what would bug me. And everyone has their own tolerance level. So for others, that might have been fine. And for me, it wasn't. So anyway, I digress. So here's what I want to do. I'm going to do a scroll through of some of the interesting comments that you guys left for me, because I think it's just really thought-provoking. And I also want to do a roll through of the screenshots that I took of all the items that I saw yesterday that were in stock, and they were in stock for hours and hours and hours, and probably are still in stock now, and I don't know what's going on. And then at the end, I'm going to insert a photo of LV. I passed by the LV flagship store, as I said, on Fifth Ave yesterday when all these items were available on the website, and I was just curious, and what I saw really confused me even further. So let's get into the roll. Okay, so here's some of the comments that you guys left me that really stood out. So LB says, ever since the most recent price increase, you can find pretty much everything online, available a couple of times a day. Every hard to find item in my previous wish list is available. And yes, I'm one of those that is used to checking several times a day just for fun. And then KK Love CC says, maybe they're trying to make big sales for Mother's Day. Right, we talked about that. That is a theory. Although not everything adds up to that, but maybe. Then Lorna Dune says, no one wants to buy at current prices. LV just found their price ceiling, which I think is interesting. Do you guys think that the LV bubble has burst? Then Shan Yaz says, I've had to return my last 3 handbag purchases due to quality. I'm now in the process of returning a coin card SLG. I bought it 2 weeks ago and it's peeling. Quite disappointed. Yeah, that is supremely disappointing. It's terrible. Okay, and then Val Wallace says, I got banned from purchasing because I bought a wallet, the Speedy, and the 6-key ring holder. I tried to buy the mini pochette and it wouldn't let me. I'm sorry, I love your stuff, but after that I feel horrible. Like I'm giving you my money and you're not letting me get the stuff I love. I think we can all relate to this. If we were ever stopped from purchasing something that we want, it just feels icky, you know, you're choosing to spend your hard-earned money with a brand and they're stopping you. I don't know. How do you guys feel about the purchase limits and the bans? Does it turn you off? Do you think it's reasonable? Have you ever been banned? I've never experienced that, but I can just imagine it would be really agitating and it might turn me off entirely. And then Juliana Gonzalez, one of my favorite subbies. She's always here to support me, always one of the first to view and comment. Hi, babe. Thanks for leaving a comment here again. She says, OMG, unbelievable after the increase. Sad, sad, sad. I feel like that sums up what a lot of us might be feeling. And then someone else says, I've noticed a lot of the popular items have been restocked and regularly available since the last price increase. I even got my hands on the Palm Springs Mini after almost a year of trying to find it. Would love to hear your thoughts on why they're doing this. I'm sure it's a psychological thing to get people to go crazy and buy things they couldn't buy before the price increases or the ridiculous increases. I totally agree. There's something psychological happening here. It's warfare, guys. It is warfare. I think LV is really strategic and none of this is a mistake. There's no mistake about why all of these are popping up on the website now. Then Lee C says, thank you for the heads up. I've been trying to order one for so long. I'm not even sure if it's worth it at this price point anymore, but I'm going to see how I feel about it when I have the bag in hand. Yeah, this hesitation, I understand what you mean. It's available, so why not? And see, but then are you buying something you don't really want? Just don't compromise, right? Okay, so what's available online? I took screenshots of all the items that I saw that were available for purchase yesterday, and I'm going to show you here, and I think you're going to be shocked. Okay, let's start with the Pochette Accessoires because this was a real shocker. It was available in monogram, at least as of yesterday, on the website. You see here, it shows place in cart. Same with the Damier Azur, available. You can place it in your cart and purchase it. Both of these were available online. Then we see the mini pochette. This is the same one that I have in the Damier Ebin. I couldn't believe my eyes. It's available. Now it's $745. Let's keep that in mind. Then this one, which is newer, it's a cute lemon color in the leather version. And this was really popular, got a lot of hype when it first released. $880 in stock now. It was out of stock before. This one too, the bi-color Empreinte version. This is in stock. And this too is $880. It's a lot of money. I remember this one when it came out for Valentine's Day and it was sold out everywhere and now available for $845. This one also available for $875. So a bunch of mini pochettes were online. Then we've got the Felicie pochette. This too, very popular in the monogram version. Yep, available. You can see here, this is the new price, $14.90. Even the World Tour version, available for $16.70. You could place it in your cart. And then the key pouch. The key pouch is never online, right? So the key pouch also definitely available, $325. This is mine, the Damier Ebin. I use it every single day. I got it for 200 something a couple years ago. Now it's $325. Then the Speedies, like I said before, all of the Speedies in every size, every print. Here's the Damier Azur. Here's the Dami Ebin. I had to take screenshots because I couldn't believe my eyes and I wasn't sure if you guys would believe me. And yeah, you see, and then the monogram too. You see in stock, in stock, in stock. They're all in stock. I mean, it's kind of crazy. And then here, the bandolier versions as well. So we have really been trained not to expect anything to be in stock. And now seeing that they are available, it's like I'm doing a double take. How do you guys feel? Here again, Dami Ebin, bandolier versions, all the sizes. They're all available. And of course, the Dami Azur as well. Both 25 and 30 in stock. So yeah, here's the newer one that everybody was going crazy to get their hands on, the Speedy Bandolier 20 size with the extended zipper and the thicker strap, $2,030. Ooh. And then here's the Ampriant version in black, and this too. I mean, what is happening? What is happening? Why aren't people grabbing these? $25.70. And here the 20 size on the left, 25 size on the right. These were impossible to get before. You guys know how I feel about the Neverfull. It's not my favorite bag. I don't own one. I'm not going to buy one, but they were available. I know these are classics. These are workhorses. And yeah, they're available in pretty much all the sizes and all the prints if you were looking to get one. Yeah, okay. Here are the key balls. Key balls available also. Not just the classic monogram with the vachetta, but also this version here, which I personally love because it has the black treated leather. And here's the price, $25.70 in stock in the 55 size and also the 45 size. And then this one is the Dami Graphite, right, from the men's collection. And this one I think is the Eclipse. They're all available, you guys, every single one of these. And then we have the Pochette Matisse. You guys know I love my Pochette Matisse. Got it a couple years ago. I paid $18.30. It is now, let's see the price here. It is available, but it's available for $25.70. The same with the reverse monogram. It was available yesterday. Here, the Ampriant versions in the turtle dove and the navy. The turtle dove color was really popular when it first released. Here's the black one. They're all available. And then the Alma BB Classic Dami Ebin. A lot of you love this bag. Not my personal favorite, but I can see why it's popular, even in the monogram. This has a lot of vachetta though. I don't love that. $17.60 is the new price, and they're available even in the Epi version. I like this Epi version. $19.60 is the current price. Here, this one, the Vanity PM. This was also really popular. It has that same gorgeous chain that my Speedy BB has. And for $2,840, I laugh because that's a lot. You can buy it. Multi-Pochette Accessoires. Come on, this was so hot. People were paying over retail for this. Now it's available on the website. You can buy it for $25.70. The bum bag, no, was not available. I don't want you guys to get surprised. It was not available. I believe it's been discontinued or it's going to be discontinued. Last price was $2,030. Kirigami set. There was no price increase on the Kirigami in the last round, so I do think this has more value for the money at $745. Here's a cosmetic pouch, the 25 size. This was available, or I guess it's called the toiletry bag 25. Here I do have the PM size cosmetic pouch, and both the GM and the PM were available yesterday. Here it is in the Dami Ebin. This too was available. Yeah, Dami Azur. I mean, I'm sighing, and I don't know why I'm sighing. It's just, I'm confused. Here is the store. I was passing by the 57th Street, 5th Ave flagship store. Do you see the line outside? Do you see that crowd? Midday on a Sunday? Lots of people in line to get inside. And then as I was passing, I heard someone at the door saying, if you don't have an appointment, it's going to be a while. So people are buying. This really confuses me even further because people are not only willing to buy, but they're willing to stand in line to purchase something. And yet we're saying everything is available online because no one's purchasing anymore. Something is not adding up, right? What do you guys think? Oh, and by the way, there was no line outside Chanel that same day. I walk by these stores a lot living here, and LV almost always has a line, and Chanel almost always has a line, and poor Dior never has a line, and poor Saint Laurent also never has a line. It's really fascinating. I don't know why it is, but that is how it is. But yeah, no line at Chanel. What does that mean? Because that's very unusual, but yet still a line at LV. And the only reason why I'm comparing the two is because we talk about these two brands as being the most aggressive with their price increases in the last few years. And people have been talking about walking away from both brands, or walking away from LV and going to Chanel, or Chanel, people saying they're going to go to Hermes. Whatever the case, there's like this bad taste that both of these brands have left in many of our mouths. But on the day that I passed by, LV had a line. There was also a lot of inventory available on their website, and Chanel was empty. Oh, by the way, not to bounce around too much, but this was the bag that was on display at LV. This is the loop bag and the monogram. And then I also saw somebody walk by and she was wearing it. So I guess they're really pushing that bag quite a bit. And yes, it was available online for purchase. All right, so that's everything I wanted to cover. I'm really curious what you guys think. I really would love your thoughts in the comments. I want this to be an interesting dialogue. Some of you might be over LV, but even if that's the case, I just want to know. I think it's so interesting when we have these kind of conversations versus just like a show and tell video. By the way, I should say that toiletry pouch back there, the 26 size, this was not on the website. It's been pulled from the website for a long time now, and you guys know this, right? It's been discontinued, and I think it's being remodeled, or I don't know what's happening with the toiletries, but none of the toiletries show up on the website. So this is the only one that I would say doesn't really belong in terms of what I saw on the website. And then of course, as I mentioned, the Speedy, this is not available in the stores anymore, but the Speedy 20 in the bandolier was available on the website. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. Please give this video a thumbs up if you find it to be interesting, and just interesting. Interesting. Thank you for watching if you watched up until this point, and hit that subscribe button if you're interested in seeing more content like this, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.